Okay, so question 12 is an old past paper question from quite a number of years ago now, but it talks about chemical nitrates in drinking water, and it tells you first of all that the World Health Organization recommends an upper limit of 50 milligrams per litre, but actually that up to 100 milligrams per litre would be regarded as safe. It then talks about a subcommittee of a local water authority considering a proposal which affects a small loch supplying a nearby town with water supply. The proposal is a local factory permitted to make a once-a-week discharge into the loch and provided that there's cleaning treatment. And what it tells us also in the question is that the present nitrate level in the loch is 20 milligrams per litre. So that's our starting value, is 20 milligrams per litre, or our U0 if you like. It tells us that the cleaning treatment removes 55% of the nitrates from the loch. So if 55% is removed, means that 45% is remaining, or 0.45. So that's our multiplier. And then each week that 26 milligrams per litre will be added into the loch as part of the discharge. So the recurrence relation that we could get by putting all of that together is that UN plus 1 would be 0.45 because 45% is left of UN, and then plus the 26 that's added. So that's the recurrence relation that it would generate. So I'm just going to write that down and then look at what I could do with that. So the water engineer advises the subcommittee that the proposal presents no long-term danger from nitrates to the drinking water supply. As soon as you see the word long-term in any of these questions, it should be an automatic thought of, right, we're going to need to work out the limit. So our limit formula is B over 1 minus A. So in this case, 26 over 1 minus 0.45. Okay, now we'll look at this in August in terms of how we would try and tackle that without a calculator, although this one would be quite difficult because these can come up in paper 1. But this one, it's fair enough to just do this with a calculator. So 26 divided by 1, take away 0.45 is going to give me 47.2727 and so on. Okay, so that means that the amount in the loch tends to 47.2 milligrams per litre. It'll never reach that, it'll never be as much as that, but it'll tend towards that. It converges on that amount. So that's the calculation you would use to check the engineer's advice. The reason it's worth so many marks is because you're kind of getting marks for working out the recurrence relation, and then works for working out the limit, And then part B, you need to write some kind of sentence determining whether or not the engineer's advice is acceptable. So he said that it presents no long-term danger. Would you agree? So the engineer's advice is acceptable, but then you would need to state why. Okay, so you would need to compare the idea of the limit with the data given by the World Health Organization as well.